Hello, Meoni here, and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV. This time we're looking at my top 10 favourite glamour items in the game. These then are items that I not only use all the time for glamour creations, but ones that I think are irreplaceable for their styles, and the game just wouldn't be as great without them. Bear in mind my character is female, so many of the choices will be locked to that gender, however a couple of them do go over those gender barriers. To start this off, I think we need to start with the most obvious, one of the best sets of gear and ultimately one of the best set piece items from this set. It is of course one of the Shisui items, namely the chest piece. The Shisui of the Violet Tides is a wonderful dungeon from Stormblood, but it came with some of the coolest looking outfits obtainable for free. Each of these has inspired some truly wonderful art in our community, as I'm sure you've seen. It's the perfect summer outfit, and parts of these sets, especially the tops, which is my choice for this number 10 spot on this list, are incredibly versatile, and usually you would expect to see cash shop purchaser for items of this quality. In fact, that's what they did later. I made a ton of stuff with these Shisui pieces. In Stormblood, later on we got the summer event in-game, which brought us the Fair Joy, which was essentially the Shisui healer set, which later was added to the Mog Station cash shop. So again, fully dyeable, but there's a lot of other variants of the set that look great for other classes that isn't available from the Fair Joy set, that I would definitely recommend you checking out. I did a video on all of these sets from Shisui of the Violet Tides, if you want to go check that out, and some of them look really good. If you want to go for some of the coolest looking creations, then I would definitely advise buying the Fair Joy set from a Mog Station. It's one of the cheaper ones, and it's one of the best outfits you can actually get with real money. You're probably going to find a lot of use out of each piece, especially when it comes to the boots there. The legs are used quite often by me, the chest piece is incredible, and the glove sort of armlets are amazing as well. There's some really good value for money in that particular set. So on to the next spot on this list. I chose the head bandage glamour. Yes, this is the best thing they added to the game before they actually included the Nier Automata raid. Way before the Nier Automata crossover was ever announced, a bunch of people, including myself, wanted nothing more than to make a semi-decent 2B outfit with what we had available. In Stormblood, this became even easier with the head bandage item. I made a 2B glamour video back then with this, and it did rather well, and it's fairly obvious why. I still love this set to this day, even with all the new Nier stuff added to the actual game. If you want to pick this up, this fully dyeable head bandage, there's a quest if you complete Stormblood's main storyline, i.e. 4.0, that appears in Ralga's Reach, which if you do that will give you the head bandage as a reward. It's different from the other head bandages we do have access to in the game now, and you could use it to make some very cool looks indeed. Personally, these days I use it to make a sort of like a blind angel look. I use it with the angel wings body from a cash shop. I've used it with my samurai for sort of like a blind samurai who uses their other senses to fight enemies without the need for sight. You name it, it's a great item that can unlock a ton of interesting ideas, and the roleplay community went absolutely wild with this as well. It's less used now, as I say, with the Nier raid that exists, with the actual 2B head bandage existing. But I still think this is one of the best items they've given us in the game for sure, and it's one that you can get completely for free by just completing a small 5-minute quest line. The 8th spot on this list then has to be the Thavnarion bustier. This has to be on the list. It's a slice of classic glamour nostalgia for me. Added in Heavensward, this Master Weaver 3 level 60 chest piece was all the rage and still is seen everywhere. It's a great memory for me. I remember prices in 2015 of about 18 million gil as a starting price for this wonderful chest piece alone. Since then, the price of the set pieces are considerably cheaper and the demand is much lower, with lots of other sets that look great, but it's still a really lovely item to get. Dyeable, really great aesthetically, and literally shouts Thavnarion Dancer at you from its style. Since then, of course, we've actually had Dancer as an actual job added to the game, so if you want a really cheap, effective and wonderful Dancer-themed glamour, this could be a really great place to start. It's almost like a trope, or was a trope, that if you saw a female Makote in-game, that she'd be wearing either the Thavnarion bustier and tights, or the Moonfire halter set, and I'm sure I called out quite a few people there, including myself back then too. So 7th on this list has to be the Raincoat. I love this item. Oh my goodness, this chest piece makes me so very happy. When I was trying to put together a 02 lookalike from Darling in the Franxx, one of my favorite animes, on one of my alts, this chest was my go-to, but it's absolutely wonderful to look at. This was added more recently in, I believe, patch 4.5 of Stormblood, and is a level 70 Master Weaver 6 recipe in the actual game. This isn't a cash shop item. It's designed to go with the hood to look like a raincoat, but with full dyeability and some mixing and matching, it's really quite wonderful to see it on its own. The long flared sleeves give a much more casual look. The gold inlay and buttoning really sets off whatever color you choose as a dye, and it looks amazing in red, as you can see here. Stormblood added a whole bunch of really great glamour options, and I love seeing what people come up with from items like this Raincoat. Number 6 on the list is Claws of the Beast and the False Nail. So this is cheating. There's 2 items in one, but they're pretty much the same sort of idea. The Claws of the Beast are from the Gold Saucer, costing 30,000 MGP, and the False Nails are from the Ananta Beast Tribe in Stormblood. Both of these items share the same idea, which is changing the look of fingernails. One of the best choices to go for if you can't figure out then what gloves to equip with a certain set or a glamour choice. Many times I've sat there trying to figure out what gloves to use or what would even go with what I'm trying to achieve, only to resort to just choosing one of these 2 nail glamours. I've used these more times than I care to admit. The Claws of the Beast are perfect to add a sense of darkness into a glamour and are a must-have for any aspiring succubus, and the False Nails just allow you to dye your nails in any colour that you want, usually making it a lot easier to match with the rest of an outfit, which is very handy to have, especially if there's just something missing from the hands and you can't answer it with gloves. Dyeing it the same colour on your nails is a perfect choice. They may not offer any actual gloves to the slot itself, but then you don't always want your character to wear gloves. We're not Michael Jackson. You could Emperor's New Glamour them away and it would be completely invisible, but I think you might as well have something there to complement the set rather than just nothing. Even if it's a slight shade change of those fingernails colour, it really brings out whatever chest piece they're going with, especially if it's long sleeve. They're incredibly unique, and I hope they add more variants like this into the future. Perhaps some sort of long spikes or knives on the nails or something. That would be pretty cool. So number 5 on the list has to be the Type 2B leggings. This is from the chest that you get, the Glamour chest, upon completing Nier Automata's raid for copied factory, which obviously you have to raid against everyone else in your alliance for. This is pretty annoying to get if you haven't got it already, because a lot of people are trying to get it, but the legs in particular are pretty unique, let's say. This should come as no surprise to some of you that I chose this, but these are some of the coolest leggings in the game. Well, I'm pretty sure that you can see why I chose these in this footage here. Hidden customization options for your character's buttocks is something that I think a lot of people went crazy for, especially on the official forums and Reddit. In a world without a butt slider, this is the best you're gonna get. It's a significant size increase at the bottom there, pun intended, as you can see, making your cheeks much more round and deep, let's say. Deep, round and even. No, that's something else completely. The item itself is pretty much leaving nothing to your imagination if you look at it closely enough, but does look pretty good when you equip something open and flowing with these legs, and you really get the sense of that big, thick butt, which, you know, what's not to love there. Number 4 then on the list, moving swiftly along, the Namazu earrings. From 2019's Moogle Treasure Trove event, you could snag these exclusive limited edition Namazu earrings, or should I say earring because it's singular. They originally cost 100 tomes at the time from the event, and as you can imagine, I did this pretty quickly as soon as I saw them available. I needed these at all costs, and pretty much as soon as I got them, I never unequipped them, and I used them on pretty much every glamour set where possible, as you've probably seen from my videos. videos. The pixelation at close range is not really something I worry about too much due to the likelihood of people even noticing that you have the earrings on is pretty low unless they're really looking at your character in detail. But yeah, these are easily my favorite earrings in a game. There are some great designs, no doubt, from Alexander to coil ones, but none of them can replace the joy I simply get from equipping these Namazu themed ones. Maybe one day you might see the limited edition items in the cash shop or something. I have absolutely no idea what they're going to do with that exclusivity, but this is pretty much why I would recommend doing the Moogle events when they're out for sure, because it's really anyone's guess if we'll ever see them again. So number 3 on this list, the Endless Summer Glasses. They have to be on this list. I love these things, not just because they're really nice dyeable glasses, but because they are one of the first items, the glasses in the game, to have a visor interaction. You can actually do /visor in chat, or the little button on your character window, or a macro to toggle these on your head above your eyes or back onto your actual eyes as well, which works a lot better, admittedly, with less hair than Meoni has here, which you can spam the button and have a rather entertaining free emote if you'd rather, but these were from the 2018 Moonfire Fair event in-game. Since then, the outfit, I believe, is on the Mog Station cash shop for real money if you want to buy that, and the set itself is quite lovely, but the glasses have to take the spot on the list because they are so unique, and I beg Square Enix to do more with this simple interaction. I would be really happy if we got this for all glasses in the game someday, or at least just a few of them. Visor interactions add so many different variations to a look that a Glamour can give, and to have more would be excellent. So number 2 on the list is the Namazu bell necklace. Yes, you knew it would be on here. I use this for pretty much every Glamour that I can. It's my sort of trademark link to Namazu on my main Glamour set. It's a wonderful bell. Do I even need to explain this further? I don't know. I'm truly madly in love with the Namazu beast tribe from Stormblood. I spent hours and hours and probably even more hours running around with my Namazu minions, squeaking loudly with the sound effects set to maximum to annoy my spouse, and I loved every second of the beast tribe's storyline. The music composed is sheer genius, the area, the setting, everything. If I could live in a Namazu themed house in real life, I probably would. I'm not even kidding anymore. It would just be too good. The Namazu bell is acquired from your completion of the Namazu storyline from the vendor in Dora Ilo, and if you haven't done that questline yet, please go and do it. It's some of the best writing, probably the best writing in Stormblood. Actually, I think, you know what? It was actually better than the MSQ at the time when that patch came out, if I think about it. Grab yourself a bell, become a non-feral comfy Nama kitty today. You won't regret it at all. And finally on the list then, the Quaintrelle's ruffled skirt. Right, it had to be my favourite and least favourite depending on what day you ask me. The Quaintrelle set is a painful set that has the incredible fact that the skirt becomes invisible if anything you have equipped comes close to the waistline of your character. And if it drapes over, oh, well, you can say goodbye to your skirt and you'll just be half naked again. The reason it does this is due to clipping. It's a prime example of Square Enix doing their best to avoid clipping, and unfortunately when this item was made, it was coded to disappear every time a longer item was equipped with it, or sort of overlapped with its mesh, which really pees me off because it is by far the best skirt in the game in my opinion. It shouts and screams summer, and its ruffled nature is frankly gorgeous. But the limitations it brings to the table almost make it completely useless. That is, unless you hunt around and rapidly, desperately inspect every single chess piece that gets added to the game in each and every patch like I do. Finding a perfect combination is not easy. And when you do find something that doesn't make it completely vanish and actually looks half decent, like my main outfit here, then you smile from ear to ear, and then instantly it's the best again. This is easily my most iconic creation. I see people wearing this combo everywhere these days, and it's really cool to see actually. A lot of people have made clones of Meoni, and it's quite fun to see people sort of fanboy over my character, and they have some very good taste indeed. Whilst my frustrations got me down the first time I got this skirt back in Stormblood and realized that nothing I wanted to use actually worked, it also forced me into one of my other iconic looks that people remember my character looking like, and this is still my favorite Glamour of Meoni back then. So it's easily the best and worst leg item in the game for female characters, but then something that looks good 50% of the time. Is the other 50% worth bothering with? I think not. Anyway, that's my list of my favorite glamour items at the moment. Much like the weather, my favorites do change and adapt all the time. I'm like every other person on this planet. But if I was to put a pin right now in each of those slots, I think that would be accurate for the most part. The real question then is what your favorite glamour items are. So let me know below. Are there any similarities between our lists? Do you disagree wildly with something I've chosen there? Comment below. And indeed, I'll see you all next time.